Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my week 4 check-in for the month of February, which runs from um, February 23rd through the 29th. So we are going to jump right on into it. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. So we are going to start off with sorry, y'all. I was checking something because I feel like I have a date. Okay. So we're going to first start off with February 24th. I went and got my hair permed and I spent $55 and that came out of my personal spending. Next, I went and got gas and that was for $43.73 and that came out of my gas. After that, I went to Target and I spent $133.53 and that came out of unbudget. Y'all, February was like the month of unbudgeting, and some of it needed to happen, others not so much. Um, and then grass remaining $8 came out of household. The other part of the lawn care was I probably should change this from like grass remaining to lawn care. Um, So what happened was, I know my husband was talking about our yard getting like mulched and all that kind of stuff, and our lawn guy came and did everything, and so we needed to pay him. So I took all of the money out of our home sinking fund, which was $142, and then took the other remainder, which would have equaled out to 150 to pay for him. So we got to start saving again for that household fund. Then next, I paid for my Sam's membership. That was $50. Plus, I had bought a snack because when I like got there, it was a day that it was super hot. Like I was not feeling well and I needed to like eat something in order to feel better. So altogether, that was $56.48, and that was on budget. Now, keep in mind, back in December was when the Sam's membership was due, and I kind of had the money then to budget for it. But I knew that at some point at work, I was going to need to go to Sam's Club, so I was kind of holding out, but I just did this under on budget because things have just been a little tight. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, like what's going on, kind of. But yeah, so that happened. But now I do have the membership for the rest of the year. So when and if I need to go, I already have that. Then on the 27th, I had to get gas again because I was just doing so much driving when I drove to get my hair and then going to Target. And then I think that last week was when I dropped off baby girl's books. And then also that weekend, I drove to my boss's house, which was like an hour away, for an event that he was having. So I just did a lot of driving that past week. So I had to get gas again, and that was $36.72. And then on the 29th, y'all, this past week, the last 2 weeks in February just hasn't gone well with me cooking for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because my body can sense that time is going to change, but we have just not been in the mood to cooking, eating, doing whatever. But this day, I actually made wings and we really enjoyed the wings, y'all, with the wing sauce that I had got from HEB at the beginning of the month. So there was nothing left for lunch. So I ended up going to HEB and grabbing something. But also while I was there, oh, sorry, y'all. While I was there, I found something called browning that I put on our chicken, and I was so happy to see it in there. So I bought two of those as well too. So that's along with the spending. But y'all, that was it for the remainder of the month. Not a whole lot going on, but for sure for March, y'all, I've got to do better. Okay. So now we're going to go over to our weekly check-in and we're going to put in our numbers and then we're going to go through like what the whole month really looked like. Okay. So for groceries, I started off at a negative 34.18. I did not budget anything. I also did not spend anything. And it was at negative 34.18. Y'all, I got some money, and so This account is at zero, but the negative that was on the Amex card has been paid. Next is going to be gas. I did not budget anything, but for the week I spent $80.45 and oops, not 8,000, 80.45, and that left me with negative $23.72, and that has been paid off. If you are new to the channel, the way that my envelopes work or my check-in works is I use a cashless method. I currently use my Ally Bank to make my different categories, and I have money funded into those accounts. But then for the whole month, I use my Amex credit card and I charge everything to that card. And then towards the end of the month, I reconcile my budget and pay everything off. So anything that's actually negative is not negative in my bank account, it's just additional money that was on the credit card. And so that's what's being paid off. Household, I didn't budget anything, it was at zero, but we took out $8 because that's what came out for um, the extra money for what was it called? The lawn care. So we have $28.43 in there. We did not, actually, we did budget. So if you guys saw my last cash stuffing for my savings challenges, I actually completed my $29 savings challenge. And so that money went into the spending account because I want to build that up. And I spent $10, excuse me, $10.52 out of here. So that leaves me with $40.76. Next is going to be eating out, and I have not spent anything or budgeted anything for eating out. So it is going to stay at $20. So we technically started off at 101.26. I budgeted $29. I spent $98.97, and roughly we're around $31.29 after, the negatives and all of that stuff. Next, we're going to go to our personal. That is in a different checking account. That is with my SoFi account. And I did not budget anything. And actually, no, there was $5 left for that account. Oh, y'all, sorry, I messed up. I put $60 into my personal account and I spent 55 for my hair. So yes, that leaves me with $8.71. So that's what happened there. And then when we go to sinking funds, I did not budget anything for sinking funds, but I did spend $142 out of sinking funds. And I like to put over here what came out of there, and that was out of the home. Nothing was budgeted for unbudget because the number should be zero, but I ended up spending $190.01 on unbudget, y'all. And I just want to say that everything has been paid up or paid off. I will show you a screenshot of my Amex that has me at $0. And so we are good on that, y'all. So personal has $8.71 left. Sinking funds has $1,446.16 left. And the unbudget has been paid off. Okay, you guys? So now we are going to go to back to my February budget, and we're going to look at the breakdown of everything. So this month, my total expenses came out to $1,714.98. Groceries, I spent $439.53. Gas, I spent $253.72. Household was $178.22. Personal was at 185.29. Spending was at 33.24. For our sinking funds, I spent $20.99 out of holidays and then 142 out of home. And then everything else that I spent came out of budget, which is, I think, even more than what I spent in groceries, y'all. So definitely need to get that together. And that was $461.99, you guys. And when we look at our dashboard, I spent more in groceries in February than I did in January, and I believe that's also attributed to the fact that we started eating healthier in February than we did in January. But still, y'all, I spent more money in gas last month than I did this month because I did a lot more driving in January. I don't really know exactly what happened in household last month, really, but I spent less in household this month. Personal, I don't even know what happened. Oh, personal, I spent a lot more on personal last month than this month because I did a lot more eating out and I took it out of there. And then when we look at spending, they're just around the same. And then when it comes to sinking funds, we're doing okay. Like, they make sense as to, what's been happening. And it looks like we were on par once again with unbudgeting for the next or the 2 months. So this is already giving me an idea that I need to make sure that I have more money in spending to be able to cover those unbudgets. But y'all, that completes my weekly check-in for the last week and